This is Absolute's brand new 56 Fly. It's a 2023 boat, just been launched, and we are going to do the full tour. As ever with Absolute, it's the packaging which is the big news, and this is no exception. It's a really clever layout, and we're going to go to every area. So we're going to head on the back. There's two ways up to the cockpit. This area here we're going to come to. I'll show you what that is in a little while. We've got the high-low platform on this one as well for the dinghy storage. But we're going to come on this way, past the cockpit. Excuse me, sorry. Thank you very much. And we'll head on in. Now, as is often the way with Absolutes, most of the boats are the galley aft layout. This one's no exception. We've got a drop window here, so that will come down. We've also got a two-piece door that retracts right in over here, so that can be half closed with just a one section that slides, or you can slide both sections back as we've got at the minute, and that brings that right back like so. We've also got outside docking controls here as well, so you've got the joystick control, it's IPS on this one, and you've also got the bow thruster control there as well, and that one there is the stereo for this area. But we're going to head inside first of all, show you what this one's all about. So galley here, these are interesting, these to keep your pot safe, so if it's rolling around a little bit things don't go sliding off. Cooker underneath, of course. What else do we have here? We've got storage underneath here, like so, and then the fridges are over on this side, so like so and like so. The bottom one obviously is a freezer. And if we spin on around, there's just the one shallow step up. There's a bit more storage down underneath here. Down over underneath here is what I tried to say when I said down underneath here. Very much typical of this model of boat with the woodwork. So you've got this lovely dark gloss finish here, contrasting with the light matte finish here. It's an Italian boat, they do the style thing well and it shows. Same with the lighting, some really nice lighting in this one. This is the saloon area. Now this you can either drop down in the size it is now, make that little coffee table, bring it up to the height it is now, open it out, because these are folding leaves, as you can probably tell for yourself by the fact you've got the split there and hinges there. So that of course then becomes your dining area, and you've got another very comfortable seat here. TV lifts out from behind that one, and then if we head forward again, we'll find the helm position. Love these Absolute seats with these little stainless steel Absolute logos in the back of them. That's rather tasty. Side door. Don't often get a side door on a 56-foot boat. This has one, and that's a really useful thing to have, because you can obviously step from the helm straight onto the deck to help with the rope work. Most of this sort of boat, most of this size of boat, I should say, I'm really tripping over my words today. Most of this size of boat are owner operated that don't have crew, so that sort of thing is really useful. Having said that, there is a small crew cabin which I will show you. Instrumentation across here, so we've got the multifunction displays, and these can be your charts as we've got here. We've got the ship monitoring system on here, so this is giving us things like the tank levels. You can go into checking bilge pumps. We've got power on here, all the usual kind of stuff you'd expect to find is accessed through there. Throttle controls are down here, and then an IPS joystick for close quarters berthing. Again, very nicely finished with this. It's not quite carbon fibre, but it's quite a technical sort of weave to that. That looks good. All low glare across here, big compass. And we have the lift bolsters, which is great because you can stand here and lean against those, but also it makes it much easier to walk through here if you're going in and out to that side door. And of course, if you want to sit down, well, then you just drop them flat like that. Right, let's head on down. Now, this is very much an Absolute feature in as much as it's got the half deck. So we come down to the lower deck, but you can see how this goes on down, and that's the lower deck down there. This one is a half deck that goes forward underneath the bow, and that gives you a really lovely owner's cabin up here in the bow. And of course, again, very much an Absolute feature, these massive windows. You can see the boat next door has got something very similar, side windows, and then you can just see, hopefully, there we go, the front windows there as well at a higher level. That's what this has got, and that's what gives an amazing view out. We've got the dressing area here. We've got little cupboards down here for your bits and pieces. Shelving here. Again, some lovely finishes, the way that they've done this. So it's like an upholstered finish, but it's behind perspex, so it doesn't get grubby. Double bed in the centre, as you probably figured for yourself. TV in here as well. And then what they've done is, of course, as the hull narrows going forward, we use this area, they use this area for the ensuite. Pocket doors, again, you see this a lot with Absolute. If I unclick that one, then that just slides. I've just locked it. This is going well. There we go. That slides across like that. So that door, when it's open, isn't flapping around in the way you can't get into here or whatever. It just literally disappears completely into the bulkhead. That is the heads. And you've got a really good shower in there as well. As you can see, that works well. Now, last time I showed one of these, somebody said, or a lot of people said, well, where's the hanging locker? Which was a very fair question. I didn't show it, so I must make sure I show it this time. If we come around here, right back into this corner, what this does, it takes us back under the stairs. So that's the steps that we came down just in behind there, and you can see how that comes round. And that gives a really good size walk-in wardrobe, actually, because you've got the two hanging rails, one up there, one across here, and you can stroll straight into there. So that takes care of that. That's a nice cabin, isn't it? Let's go and have a look on the next level down. So we'll come right around here. Out of here, these are the steps that we came down, but we're going to head on aft. So this is what I mean about this being a half deck. You come down again and you get down to the lower deck proper. And if we go right back, you've actually got arguably another owner's cabin, because this is full beam. It's a really good size. I reckon this is the equal, perhaps even slightly bigger than the one we saw in the bow. The difference is the heads is a little bit smaller. So you could argue either way as to which one's the owner's cabin, or you could simply say it's got two owner's cabins, because this is certainly owner cabin standard. Again, you've got the pocket doors, and again, got it locked. There we go. So that just slides across like that. Same sort of deal. You know, if you had that door conventionally, it'd either be opening here and you'd have to squeeze past it to get in, or it'd be opening this way and you'd be in the way. By sliding it into the bulkhead, you don't have that situation at all. That's fantastic. If we have a look over here, you've got your AV equipment. There is a large wardrobe, and then we've got storage down across this side. But yeah, really good size. And then the ensuite, well, it's sort of sat over here because the toilet's in here. That, of course, closes off for privacy, like so. Your sink is here, and then your shower is in that one. So that is a bit smaller than what we saw in that forward cabin. The cabin itself, however, I reckon, is probably a bit bigger. So either way, either two owners' cabins or one very nice VIP and one owner, but choose for yourself which is which. They're both a great size. And then there's a third cabin down here. That is over on this side. This one here, incidentally, is a washing machine. And again with a pocket door. It's like a gamble, this. Is it going to slide or is it locked? I'm going to say it's locked. I got one right. There we go. Exactly the same deal. That just disappears from sight. Let's lock that again. Leave it as we found it. So, twins in here, of course. You've got the opening portholes on that side, and then your storage is in here like that, all illuminated. And that little chap there takes us into this area, which is now down underneath that forward cabin. So it's a really good storage area if you're really bits and pieces you want to get tucked away. People bring bags down with them, you want to get those out of the way, for example. That is absolutely ideal. And that is a very, very helpful feature. And finally, day heads is down here. That's across here. So this is what this cabin would use at night. And then during the day, people come and use this one. And you've got your sink, and you've got your shower, and you've got your pocket door. It's neat, isn't it? I've done a nice job with this. It's very absolute. And you can see, again, if I come back here, just how that works with the step up, and then that half deck, and then the steps on round. Let's go and have a look at the outside. So we're back up here. This is the main control panel for the boat. So distribution board, basically, it's giving you control of the 120 or 240 volt AC systems. It's also giving you 24 volt ship systems, and these are all circuit breakers, so everything can be controlled from there, switched, isolated, whatever. And the other thing we've got here is a wine cooler tucked away underneath the helm seat. Okay, let's head on back. We'll have a wander around the outside. We'll take in the Flybridge as well, and then we'll go and have a look at that crew area and the engine space that we saw. So we're going to head around this way. And we're going to wander up this side. Nice overhang on here with the lighting built in underneath. That's a good thing. This is that side door, so that's straight out from the Helm, and that banging sound you can hear is the fact that we're next to this huge causeway in Miami. That's cars going across it. And we come right on up, windscreen obviously, and then a forward seating area. So we're now over that forward cabin. Seating here and then sunbathing here, but you can see there's lift up backrest, so you can bring those up and sit there, lie there at least facing forward if you prefer. Anchor up here, got an ultra anchor on this one, very smart. There we go, lovely bit of kit. And these little chaps here, I think I'm right in saying, are to enable you to put a bimini up here if you want to. So those are for poles, and you can get a bit of shade. That's a searchlight, it's facing backwards at the moment. You spin that around if you want to use it. And then we'll come right on back, again with the overhangs. We've got the steps down. Side boarding gates on this one as well, that's nice. So if you're alongside a quay, you can enter and exit there without having to swing your leg over. And right on back, this is fuller caps, I suspect. And I would be correct. And then around here we had the steps to the Flybridge. These are illumination little lights, pin lights that light these up at night. And then up on top, the flying bridge. Flybridge. So freestanding furniture at the back here. This is really nice. You can set this up how you like. If you wanted some beds out here, you could do, but I think this works really well to be able to sit there, look out over the back. And then if you come right to the back and spin on round, we've got the hardtop on this one. We've got the communications domes up on top. Obviously your radar would go up there, GPS antenna, nav lights, all that sort of stuff lives up on top. We've got this area under here. This is for a life raft. So that's a really useful area. It means you can always get to it. It's in the right place. And then seating, obviously around the table just here. And then the bar for this area is over here. Barbecue underneath that one, sink underneath that one, fridge underneath that one, an ice maker in there, and that can be dropped down so that you're not going to step back and disappear down there. That is solid enough to stand on, by the way, in case you were wondering. And then helm positions up here as well. You've got sunbathing again right up the bow. That's really nice. When you're just cruising gently, people can sit here and everyone can all be together, lounging, relaxing, sitting, taking in the view. Just fantastic. That's a Navetta 75 next to us. We've got a tour of one of those already on the channel. Helm position is here. So again, with the nice bucket seats with the lift bolsters. And then you've got your multifunction display, engine instrumentation. That's a scan strut charger. Drop your phone into that, it'll charge up. I'm not going to do it because last time I did, I left it behind and went back for it 2 hours later. It was still there. But that is the Flybridge. Let's go and have a look at that little extra area. Say it's either an overflow cabin or a crew cabin, but that's right down the back. And that's here. So, one thing I'm going to point out actually is the fact that some people say, yeah, but what happens if you get a big rolling wave and it comes crashing into that? You don't, because out at sea the waves are just like swells and the boat lifts up on the swell. It's not like hitting a rock that's stationary. The boat is floating and it floats up on the wave as it comes. If you do have big breaking waves, then you don't stop and point the back of your boat at them. And you could say, well, what happens if your engine's stopped? But if your engine's stopped, the boat turns beam on. And it's not a pleasant place to be, but twin engines, so hopefully that ain't going to happen. Bed here and another bed over here, so you've got room for both of your daughter's boyfriends in here. That's suggesting your daughter's got 2 boyfriends, isn't it? What I mean is, if you've got 2, you know what I mean. You've got 2 daughters and they've both got boyfriends, this is where you can stow them. Little hanging locker in there. As I say, could be a crew cabin. Probably this sort of boat, 99% of the time it's owner operators. This is really just an overflow cabin. Great for kids as well. It's a little den, completely separate, brilliant for teenagers. This has got the heads here, so there's a door that slides across like so for a bit of privacy, and there's a shower in there as well. This is fairly compact. You've got to bear in mind this is a sub 60-foot boat. It's not really designed to be a crew operated boat. If you want that, you buy a bigger one. And then in here is the engine room. Now we've got a pair of D8 IPS 800 engines in here. The other one is around on this side. IPS drives, so pod drives. And these engines are 600 horsepower each. They're giving the boat about 27 knots flat out. And another interesting thing about them, I had a look at the fuel flow figures on this one, and the fuel consumption, or the range rather, at anything between 12 and 28 knots flat out is 300 to 330 miles. So it's almost irrespective of speed really. You're only going to make about 10% difference whether you're doing 12 or 28 or anywhere in between. You're going to get about 300 miles. If you really want the range, as ever with a planing boat, you drop it down to displacement speeds at 7 knots, you're doing 1,000 miles in this one. So that is how you cruise if you want the big distances. Fuel tanks are down here. If you come around this side, you can see you can get right around these engines. And then you can just about see the pods down at the back. Yeah, there we go. That's the top of the pods. And there's also access straight up into the cockpit as well, so you don't need to come onto the bathing platform to get in here. If you wanted to get in here when you're out at sea, don't want to open those doors or come onto the platform, that is the way in. Generator lives here as well, that's underneath there. Fire suppression, fuel filters on that bulkhead, all the master vault kit for battery management, all nicely tucked away and get atable. And that, I think, is about the size of that. Let's come back out of here. Step up, and I think we'll finish off just over here where we can see the boat again. And there we go, the new Absolute 56 Fly. Huge thanks to Absolute for organising that tour. Massive thanks as ever to you guys for watching it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye bye.